My name is Cole Youngblood, and I'm doing my portfolio presentation. My goals for this semester were to study harder because I tend to be on my phone a lot, and I'm watching TV a lot because I like to avoid doing what I'm supposed to be doing, though that's never going to work out for me. I wanted to turn more work in on time because I don't really get things in on time because of not studying as much and being lazy, and I wanted to study harder because I use my phone too much and I watch too much TV and I avoid studying and doing my assignments, and I wanted to use my phone less, which I did accomplish that, just not as well as I wanted to. A few specific examples on how I've grown with those goals and not with those goals are I've started turning things in on time. I get things in on time more often than I usually do, though I still have late assignments. I don't have as many, and I don't do it as much. I read more and I use a lot more detail in my writing because I didn't have a big enough vocabulary before I started reading more, and I can now detail my writing a lot more to my liking. And I read the assignments that I'm supposed to be doing through more because I typically just kind of blast through them and not read them and just do a bad job. So I have been reading the assignments more. And I've also been reading the assignments more than once instead of just skimming through it and then doing the assignment. I read through it and then I start the assignment and then I go back and read through it again so that I can give my best work on the assignment. I've been putting more effort into my assignments and my writing, and I've been spending more time working because I typically only work for about an hour, but lately I've been doing it for 2 or 3 hours, and I've been getting ahead in a few classes. I used my phone less, not as much as I'd like to have used my phone, but I did use my phone less. I read more books. I read a lot more books than I usually do. And I asked for help when I needed it, because I tend to try and avoid asking for help because I like to prove that I can get things done on my own, and that results in me not getting a good grade on something. So I have been asking for help more, and I paid more attention in class because typically I would just doodle or not really pay attention and zone out while in class, but I have been paying more attention in class. And a few examples of my work that reflect these goals and these accomplishments. My Greek mythology research report. I chose the question, why are Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades so important to the Grecian world? And I answered it, and I researched it, and I read the assignment over a few times, and I revised it multiple times. And my bat poetry assignment, which was a list of questions that I had to answer about the story A Bat Poet. I think that's what it's called. And my literary essay, I think, is the best out of those three because I wrote about the Bat Poet, and I gave predictions and I used examples from the story. And I think that my favorite assignment to do out of those three, though, was the Greek mythology research report. I definitely worked the hardest on the Greek mythology research report, though I don't think it turned out as good as my literary essay.